You send your assignment to me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Or to the system?
To the system. The team apps.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I will check.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. No problem, sir.
If you have any problem with these things, you will ask me or you will email me for videos or for other things. I will support you because I am also uploading this to the YouTube, or the PowerPoint is already existing in the Teams. You can download and exercise it. But there is the book also. I don't know if you have the book. Do you have the book? Did you get the book? You didn't find the book?
Not yet, sir.
But you know the monkey is microeconomics. I have given the course description. It is also uploaded in the system. And you should buy the book because it is very helpful. I don't know if it is available online, if there is any soft copy, but I don't think so. Then you have to buy the book or order from the Amazon to read it because you may need some. I have the book, but I don't have any soft copy to upload to the system. That's the problem. And we can copy it. I don't know how it is going to be solved. It is difficult to upload to the system. It is also copyrighted. I am not allowed to do this, I think. Only the PowerPoints probably will not help you. You are studying PowerPoints only?
Yes, sir.
This will be a problem for you. Because I don't, at least you should read, watch the videos, because PowerPoints only writing the subtopics or topics. I am talking too much and explaining you on videos, and it will be better to download the videos and follow the videos instruction, because only PowerPoint will not be enough. Okay? Shall we start?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Yes. We have started the elasticity. We are going to exercise the elasticity in economics, which is very important. And if you have any question, ask me, then I will start this class.
I have got a question, sir.
Yes, please.
What's the title of the book?
Microeconomics. Monkeys, microeconomic. Monkey. It is in the system. There is the course description. Did you download this course description from the system? Yes, Mohammed. Did you see this course outline? Anyway, I'm going to start, and if you...
Yes, sir, I saw this.
If you don't have this course description, you write me email, then I will send you, okay? I will send you the course description.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's go to the class, to the elasticity. As we have exercised last lecture, the equilibrium, and we did some applications. Today we are going to find this elasticity, how is going to be important for the economics, for the equilibrium, for the market equilibrium. We have to determine the elasticity of supply, elasticity of demand, or elasticity of income. Income elasticity is also important because these are all affecting and changing the market structure and the market equilibrium. There is, of course, a cobweb theory, which is illustrated and of course shows the elasticity problem regarding to the supply elasticity or demand elasticity. If demand is more elastic, what is happening and how it is going to be affected, the market, how it is going to be affected, results of demand elastic or elastic demand or demand elasticity or supply elastic or income. We are exercising in the following slides. Of course, before this, we have done this market equilibrium, as you remembered in our last lecture, and we have also put into the equation and put the equilibrium equations, the supply equation and demand equation. And we have solved this for finding the QD, QS, which is equal at equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. And then, of course, we realize the market equilibrium price and, of course, quantity, which is demanded or supplied by the producer and, of course, demanded by the consumers. I think you don't have any problem with this. Do you have any problem? I think it was okay for you. It was not. I think I put the wrong. This is the wrong slide. I have to upload the other one because we have done this. It was the other one. Let me upload the other one. This is 5. Let me see if this is 5. Ah, yes, it's okay. No, it's correct. Now we have here the elasticity. Do you see this? Elasticity?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As you remember, the elasticity, we are, of course, starting with the demand elasticity or price elasticity of demand, which is the percentage change in quantity demanded will be divided to the percentage change in the price. And of course, this is in the formula will be written as delta Q over delta P, which is more comprehensively delta Q over Q divided to the delta Q over P. And when you are replacing the numerator and denominator up and down, then will be the equation delta Q over delta P multiplied with P over Q. P and Q here is the first price. The first price, not the last price. Therefore, you have to carefully do the examples when it is given to you in the exam. The elasticity, of course, is the ratio of absolute change in the quantity and price in the equilibrium or in the supply and demand curve, which is given to you. And here we are concentrating to the demand, and demand change is, of course, giving us this elasticity is, of course, not exactly the given equation, but if you are going to estimate delta Q over delta P, will be the slope of this curve and is also somehow is equal to this elasticity when you are multiplying it with P over Q. Elasticity is the ratio of relative changes in quantity and price, as I mentioned to you, and it is, of course, differently realized depending to the value of this elasticity. If the elasticity of demand is equal to 0, it is supposed to be perfectly inelastic demand realized. Quantity demanded is completely insensitive to changes in price. Therefore, if the price elasticity price of demand is 0, there is perfectly inelastic demand, which means a horizontal line. And if the elasticity of demand or price elasticity of demand is between -1 and 0, then this will be inelastic demand. Then quantity demanded is relatively insensitive to changes in price. And if the elasticity of demand or price elasticity of demand is equal to -1, this is then unitary elastic demand, which means percentage change increase in quantity demanded equals to percentage decrease in price. Therefore, you have to know this from the beginning of our class, then you will determine easily if you are only getting these numbers and it is asked to you what is this elasticity, how it is going to affect and change the market structure. As you are understanding, if the elastic or elasticity is in the topic or is in subject for the demand, we are understanding it should be a horizontal line. And if it is vertical to the y-axis, it is supposed to be inelastic, and it is inelastic demand. And if the elasticity between -1 and infinitive, it is supposed to be elastic demand, which is again, as I mentioned to you, a horizontal line to the x-axis, and quantity demanded is relatively sensitive to changes in price. And if it is -infinitive, then perfectly elastic demand is in now the diagram, and any increase in price results in quantity demanded decreasing to 0. Then any increase in price results in quantity demanded increasing to infinity. Therefore, you have to know, as I mentioned to you, these cases for interpreting your results perfectly. If it is given to you a linear demand equation and it is requested to you to find the elasticity, then of course it will be easy. Let's suppose A and B are positive constants and P is the price. We know that -P is the slope, which is minus delta Q over delta P, the two differentiation of the Q and two differentiation of the P will give you the slope. Then this will be the multiplication of the A over B is the choke price. And choke price is an economic term used to describe the lowest price at which the quantity demanded of a good is equal to 0, and at any price below the choke price, consumers will demand some quantity of goods. Therefore, choke price is the lowest price where the quantity demanded in the demand curve. And if it is asked to you to finding the elasticity, is I mentioned to you, is easy because the slope is the delta Q over delta P, then you can put easily the slope to the equation where the elasticity formula given to you. Then minus P multiplied with P over Q will give you the elasticity. So the linear demand curve is of course supposed to be a constant slope because it is vertical and of course linear curve, and elasticity falls from 0 to minus infinity along the demand curve is supposed. And if it is given to you as an example, Q is equal to 400 minus 10P, then at P, 10P, if it is 30, this means there is no shop, and Q is 100, is similarly there is 0 price. Then when you are finding this elasticity of demand or price elasticity for demand, then delta Q over delta P multiplied P over Q is equal to minus P multiplied P over Q will be equally realized because the slope of this curve is minus 10. You are going to put in the, instead of delta Q over delta P, multiplied with 30 and 100. And as I said to you, at P, which is the choke price, as I mentioned in the former slide, the lowest price, which is supposed to be used in this diagram, and 100 is the former or the first price, which is in a given example is supposed to be the starter, so-called the first price and quantity before starting to the demand curve. Then this will gives you the elasticity minus 3, which is elastic, because as I mentioned in the former example and slides, if it is above 1, you see, is elastic demand. If it is between -1 and infinity, minus infinity, is elastic demand. Therefore, here is -3, which is the indication of the elastic demand, which is supposed to be more horizontal to the x-axis. And this is an indication that demand is very, very elastic, which means the consumers can easily give up this consumption without any problem. If it is more vertical, then this means that these goods and or these products are supposed to be more preferable and is somehow necessary foodstuffs, or people must buy these products such as bread, water, milk, dairy products, some products that which is going to be consumed regularly. And then of course the elasticity is supposed to be more vertical, and of course becomes somehow inelastic position. Elasticity with a linear demand curve, as it is illustrated here. It is of course here is given to you a normal demand curve. We didn't illustrate any elasticity problem or elasticity case, but as much as I said to you, the elastic demand is in the case or is subjected, then this right angled triangle will become more flatter, more parallel to the Q, to the x-axis, which means it is becoming horizontal position as much as the elastic demand is in the equation observed. As you see, the upper case, of course, this is for the this is for the linear curve, is given here. There is infinitive elastic region is the upper part, and there is inelastic region for the lower part. And as much as you are moving to this infinitive, you are becoming elastic position, and as much as you are moving to the x-axis, you are getting inelastic region. This is, of course, for this linear curve, not for the others that we are talking about. For nonlinear curves, which is given here, more flatter part of curve becomes more elastic, and vertical part of the curve is becoming inelastic, as it is illustrated here. Point area A is supposed to be inelastic, and as much as you are becoming to the point or area B or C or the other D, which is enlarging and increasing this curve towards to the away from the origin, will bring you more elastic demand. Perfectly inelastic demand is given here. As you see, this is totally inelastic position. Elasticity here is 0 because it is vertically, parallelly realized with the price. And as you see, as much as you are changing the price, there is no change on demand. Whether the demand is moving right or left, no problem, price change is not affecting this. Therefore, this is mostly realized for the necessary foodstuffs, as I have mentioned to you. And any increase of this price or decrease, demand is not affected. Leaves the quantity demand unchanged. And inelastic demand is supposed to be less than 1, as you see here. Now it is becoming more flatter and more horizontal. This is somehow is started to become affected because now we don't have anymore this vertical line, and any increase on the demand curve or price will affect and change the demand curve. If the price goes up, will reduce and of course affect the demand curve towards to the origin. And if it is reduced, then it is moving away from the flatter, and this is of course supposed to be less than 1. If you calculate these numbers, then you will see it. An increase of price for 22% leads to an increase 11% decrease in quantity demanded, because as much as price increase realize on the demand curve, this will reduce the capacity of consumers and reduce the demand to the origin. And elasticity, if it is equal to 0, because as you see here, now if it goes 22% again, an increase on the price, this will now shift 80. And as you see, this will lead again 22%, because the elasticity exactly gives the same changes on the quantity demanded, because elasticity is supposed to be 1. And if it is greater than 1, which is more elastic, as you see, it is becoming more flatter to the quantity, to the x-axis, and it is becoming more elastic position. Therefore, if the demand now moves, price moves from 45, now this elasticity heavily affects the demand capacity and consumers' purchasing capacity and reduce it approximately 67% decrease in the quantity demanded observed. Therefore, if the elasticity of demand or price elasticity of demand is higher than 1, this has meant there is a higher elasticity, and this is increasing and affecting the consumer's demand much more than the price changes. And this is then, of course, not good for the economy. Therefore, we have to concentrate for those goods which the elasticity is between 0 and 1 is more preferable. Usually, we are preferring this elasticity between 0 and 1, so-called -1. Then this will then, of course, more preferable for the market equilibrium. This will then helping him for creating more realistic market equilibrium, or we can correct the market easily, or at least in a seasonal deviation. This will then shift and direct the market towards to the market equilibrium. And perfectly elastic demand has meant, of course, a horizontal line, totally a parallel line to the quantity or x-axis. Then this means any change on the price, nothing happens. Now we have the equation, as you see here, the revenue. Now we have so-called the Y, the produced quantity with a number, numerical values with the capital. We are observing this inelastic demand, which is less than 1. An increase in price from 1 to 3 leads to an increase in total revenue from 100 to 240. As you see, this is a very good example for showing you how the elasticity is affecting and changing the market if the price change realized from 1 to 3. This will then, of course, affecting and changing the total revenue from 100 to 240. If it is becoming flatter, the revenue is 400, and it goes from 4 to 5. As you see, the revenue is 200, and now the revenue is going to be 100. An increase in price from 4 to 5 will lead to, of course, decrease in total revenue from 200 to 100. Therefore, this is, of course, negatively affecting and changing the market if the elastic demand is greater than 1. You have understood? This is an elastic demand, and the other one is elastic demand. So inelastic demand is good. Less than 1, as I mentioned to you, it is positively affecting and changing the market. But inelastic demand is negatively affecting the market because it is reducing the revenue amount for the, you see, the marketers' revenue is reduced from 200 to 100. If you have any question, you will ask me because I am going faster probably for you, or probably you are understanding because I try to explain comprehensively these things to you, because elasticity problem is important for the economy. If you do have any question, you will ask me. If you don't, then I will go further. If you look to the numbers here, up to 6, I think the number is 1, 2, 4, 6. I think it is 8. Then is 0 elasticity, and is of course unit elasticity is 1 when the price changes affecting and changing the market, exactly the same as it is given here. Of course, the numbers is not perfectly given here, but if you follow the order of the lines, you will understanding, because we suppose the percentage change in the quantity, if it is divided to percentage change in price, will gives you the elasticity, which is given here for 3 point in the first change, for 3.7 and 1.8, which is higher than 1, and these are elastic demand. And if it is becoming to the 1, this is the unit elasticity.